What's going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today we are back for another discussion video, and I am not alone. I am joined by the one, the whale, the only, Nolar. Go ahead and say hello, man.
Hey guys, welcome. I'm back here with Talon to help you guys figure out these team builds.
All right, so if you guys could not tell by the thumbnail and the title and everything, we are going to be talking about the brand new Legendary Goku event, or Fighting Legend Goku, which I don't think I know anyone who still actually calls it by that name. We're going to be going over the brand new missions that are in both Global and JP, so you guys can get your free stones, your free tickets, if you can still get stuff from those banners. The only thing I can get from that banner personally myself is the LR, but I have yet to pull the LR, so it is what it is. But yeah, we are going to be going over the different teams that you can do. And now, obviously, that could make this a super long video, and I expect this video to go probably a little longer than normal. But we actually divided each of these teams into kind of like sections. And so there are going to be multiple teams in some of these sections because there are so many cards that overlap into the same categories that if you actually have the cards for it, you can kill like 2 to 3 missions per one team sometimes, depending on how you build your teams. There are still a few that obviously that are like, okay, look, you have to do this the one time with this one team, and then you're done. But there are some that do overlap and everything. So, and as per usual, we cannot go over every single card because it is literally impossible. But we're gonna kind of give you some ideas about how you might go about this. You know, especially maybe if you don't have certain LRs or certain Dokkan Fest units, some side units that you can kind of go over, and we'll kind of go from there. So, Nolar, anything you want to add that I might have missed before we jump into the first section?
Nope, I think we're good to go. So I think the first one we're going to talk about is Future Saga / Time Travelers.
Yes, so if you guys are looking on the screen right now, we got both the Future Saga category and the Time Traveler category. I wanted to use the Team Builder website, but it's down for some reason right now, so you guys will have to look at this. I think Future, for the most part, I think a lot of people will probably be able to do because of using the Tech Future Trunks, which we all know is a beast at this event. Now, he is only technically, he's a Future Saga category lead and a Super category lead, but he is also on Time Travelers, right? So again, this is where you start to see a lot of characters overlap and everything. So for example, just a quick team off the top of my head real quick, you can run the Future Trunks. You can run if you're on JP at least, as of right now, you can run the LR Vegito Blue, the tech one from year 5, or you can run the free-to-play STR one, because again, he stacks. You can bring AGL Zamas, you can bring the androids, like the free-to-play Android Future 17 and 18. Oh wait, no, sorry, those guys aren't in Time Travelers, sorry. Those guys are not. I don't know why I was saying that, for example. You can bring in different Zamases, you can bring in Rosés, you can bring in, Super Saiyan Trunks, for example, like the STR one, who's a very good blocker and everything. And all of these guys are on both Time Traveler and Future category. Int Goku Black, he technically is the leader for the Time Traveler category, but hey, he's also on the Future category, right? So a lot of good options right here for these particular teams where you can go into the event, beat it real quick, and boom, you got 10 stones and 10 tickets to do your summons on. So any thoughts on the type of thing from these particular teams, Nolar?
Yeah, you could add, well, if you're on Global, and then JP a few days from now, we're going to get the EZA for Physical Vegito Blue. He fits on both. The Gawasu Zamasu fits on both. He's a great card for the defense and the dodges till, of course, the UI stages. Mai fits on both.
Yep, Mai fits on both. Yep, and she's a Time Traveler support unit. So
yeah. So she's pretty good. So I just recorded a video today with this combo. I took as my lead, I put the Int Goku Black, but I brought a friend, Tech Trunks. So like you could just mix and match. So, or you could run yours as Tech and have Int Goku Black, and then run a friend Goku Black. So you would have 2 of those guys on rotation for tanking. If you really needed that, that's an option. On JP, of course, we got the LR Rosé, the Int one, who does a ton of damage. It's just that when I ran him, I had to use a lot more items because he just can't really take too much of a hit, but he definitely cleared the event pretty quick. I'm trying to think if there's any other like overlapping, like Zamasus, any of the Zamasus, the Int, AGL, those are really good. Yeah, it's
Yep,
pretty much all I can think of that overlap.
Yep, and don't oh god.
The support Super Saiyan Trunks and the tech blue Vegeta, they're both, I think. Yep. So
support
those
Trunks
are options.
And the support Vegeta there as well. Of course, as always, just be careful with Vegeta on that final stage.
Yep.
But yeah, there are definitely a lot of options I think that a lot of people can use. And I think for the most part, a lot of people probably have done this. I mean, some very easy units that I know pretty much a lot of people should have if you've been playing the game for any amount of time is the STR, Super Saiyan Trunks, and the Int Normal Zamos. Because, again, those guys have been out for years now. It's been, what, 2.5, almost 3 years now since these cards came out? Yeah, and they are tremendous blockers. Zamos even heals a bit. It's ridiculous. They both can tank no problem. You can have them take like 20 hits, again, exaggerating that a little bit, and then allow your other units to stack if they need to. So there's a lot of good options in terms of future and time travel that can just overlap, and I think that's pretty much all to really say about it. Again, it's a pretty nice team right there that can work out pretty well for most people, I think.
Yep. That's all I got there.
Cool. All right, guys. So Time Traveler, Future Saga, we're officially done with that one. But next, we're going to be going on to Android category / Android and Cell Saga category. Okay, there's a lot of overlap here, where if you can play your cards right, you can, again, knock out 2 missions with 1 run through. Okay. So now the one thing to note real quick is that for the Androids leader, okay, 3 of the 4 leaders on this Android category, Android 21, MVP 17, and Android 13, I believe, are not on, these not there.
Cell Saga.
Yeah, so they're not part of the Cell Saga, okay, the Android / Cell Saga, okay? So you gotta be a little careful when it comes to mixing and matching your leads. You can use the LR Android 16, 17, 18 card if you happen to have them. Mm-hmm. So you can run them as your lead, and then say run a LR Int Cell as your friend. You can go ahead and do that if you need to. And then just start throwing on the androids that are within there, right? I mean, you even have free-to-play options like the Future 17 and Future 18 free-to-play cards that stack attack and defense, and they're actually really good being next to each other, which is really nice. So you can run them there. Yep. You can have STR Cell, who stacks attack and defense. He's on both of those categories. Other units, I mean, if you want to, you can bring someone maybe like the AGL Cell Juniors. I've seen them be pretty decent, at least in terms of being more of an off-rotation type thing. If you need a support and you feel a little, want to really try and take the risk, you can bring the World Tournament Cell. He's a good support unit right there, and maybe if we even wait a little bit for him to get his awakening, he could definitely be a very good support unit depending on how they build him and everything. So that's kind of my 2 cents on the Android stuff. What do you got? Anything else to add that I might have missed?
I mean, the free-to-play ones, everyone should have at least farmed and rainbowed. So I would take those. But if you didn't want to take those, the other version is the Strength 17 and the Int 18. The Strength one stacks defense, and he changes AGL to Rainbow. And then the 18 stacks attack, but she changes Rainbow to Int. So this is the team I ran. So like I put him on the first slot, and then her in the second slot. So he tanks all the hits. She does damage, and then if there's any residual like Int orbs left over for the floating LR Cell that I had, then he would eat those too. So those 2 were an option. I personally ran in friend LR Cell, and then I ran in Android 18, 16, 17, 18, like the LR as the lead. So just kind of a good mix here and there. The other thing too, I mean, it's kind of a luxury for me, but I took the TUR version of the LRs because they're supports, right? The LRs are supports, two key, 40% attack and defense, I think. The TUR is 1 key, 30% attack and defense. So I was like, everyone's really hitting hard. Yeah, so I mean, the only thing about androids is like just the team in general, they're really good. Like they can consistently finish events. They just might take a little longer. They've got a little more utility with like healing, that kind of thing going on for them. So don't expect to take 15 minutes and beat the thing. It might take you like 20, 25, but you can reliably finish it. So if you're trying to go with the whole mixing both the Android Cell Saga and Android's team missions in one, you pretty much have to run an LR Cell or 16, 17, 18 as the leads, and then any androids from the Cell Saga in there. Just whatever you can throw in, go ahead.
Yeah. One thing I will mention real quick in terms of some subunits in terms of leaders, if you happen to have the int Android 16 who came during the 300 million download celebration, he is he's a leader for that as well.
Yeah, I think he's 3-key 120. Yeah, 3-key 120.
Yeah, he's 3-key 120. I'm checking him out right here real quick. Yeah, he's 3-key 120, that particular lead. You can go ahead and bring him if you want to. If you decide to maybe do the Android and the Android Cell Saga separately because it's just how your cards work and everything, one thing to note is that if you don't have LR Cell, you can get the free-to-play lead with the Krillin from the Battlefield. He is Cell Saga and Android Saga category key +3 stats up 120. So any stacks defense. So yeah, in fact, this particular team, if you wanted to, you could almost do it free to play. You could bring Krillin on rotation with you. You bring a friend LR Cell. Then you bring the free to play feature 17 and 18, have them on rotation because again, they're stacking attack and defense indefinitely. You can bring the free to play Goku and Vegeta who can exchange into Trunks and Gohan, but you never exchange them, obviously. You would just keep them as it is because again, they stack attack and defense. True. And you can make a just makeshift team like that. It's not the greatest team by any means, but hey, it would get you there sooner than later. So, but yeah, agreed. Other than that, guys, I think again for the most part, people can see how an Android team can work, especially with all the healing. If you just simply decide to do the Android team, like for example, if you decide to do the MVP 17, which means you're not gonna be able to do the Android Cell Saga part of it, but again, you're just focusing on the androids. There's so much healing when it comes to the androids, you know, there's so much defense and support and everything. It's absolutely ridiculous. Not to mention if you're one of like the 4 people in the entire world who has Android 13.
Android 13, yeah.
He is a target Goku category, but in terms of his passive though, he will hit Goku no matter what.
And auto
his passive when he is transformed. So do keep that in mind right there. Yeah, again, but you have to like one of the 4 people in the world who actually has the card. So
yeah.
Right. Anything else to add to it?
I think that's kind of it in terms of just straight up androids. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's go into some other ones that are only going to be used once, where you have to make the team, you got to finish it, and that's it. You're only going to get one of these missions done. Let's go on to the next one, which is the Wicked Bloodline category. Okay, so this, you know, it's funny. This category actually really isn't that big, but you have a lot of good units on here that can actually do pretty good against this event. So I'm going to go over my team real quick that I used, and then we'll go ahead and you can go ahead and tell us what you did for your team. So for me personally, I have AGL Cooler at 2 dupes actually, but I actually didn't bring him. I went STR Cooler. I took STR Transforming Cooler because he is the Conquest of Terror category, and like 90% of the Wicked Bloodline category is in that category actually. So I just went with the STR Cooler as my lead. And then I brought along with me the EZA Golden Frieza. I brought Physical Cooler. I brought the Full Powered Frieza. I'll talk about the physical units here in just a second because I know some people are probably questioning that. I brought the Int Metal Cooler, the one who is the support unit who also has an EZA. And then I brought along the Tech Transforming Frieza. I reversed him essentially to where he stacks attack and defense indefinitely. And that was my team right there. It worked out just fine. Frieza and Cooler, I threw off rotation or just simply made sure they weren't getting hit too much when it came to the STR stage. But when we got to the end stage, you know, STR Cooler was transformed and, you know, a 5 million attack stat and just, you know, auto critting and multiple super attacks, and it was easy. It honestly really was. So what'd you bring for your team?
I pretty much brought the same team. The only change I made was instead of the physical full power Frieza, I brought the strength LR.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. He also can't really take a hit either, so I was a little careful with him, and then that was it pretty much. On rotation was STR Cooler with Physical Cooler, and then STR Cooler with again LR, and everyone else was off rotation, supporting all that stuff. Oh, actually, no, I didn't bring the LR. LR was off rotation. The Tech Golden Frieza was the tank on rotation.
Right.
And options are the other Golden Frieza, like the AGL one, with his EZA, at least on JP. He's really good too, because it's only when you're below 40% where you lose all the damage reduction. But up until then, he starts stacking attacks, so he can actually be a potent attacker at that point.
Yeah, and then the Int one, what just got his EZA, he stacks defense actually, doesn't he?
Yeah, he stacks defense, but he supports target Goku. But honestly, the majority of Wicked Bloodline is target Goku, so it works out anyways.
So it's working out pretty decently there. So again, if you don't have the Tech Golden Frieza, both of these AGL and Int ones are a good side option for you. So
yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah, other than that, again, kind of a small category. So I understand if some people can't beat it because of just the limitations, but overall, not too bad. Not too bad of a team right there. All right, so moving on from Wicked Bloodline, we are going to be going into another one that is kind of a unfortunate, just you have to do it once, and that's all you can do, unfortunately, for one mission. It is the Vegeta family. What did you bring for the Vegeta family? I'm curious for your time when you did it.
So I brought, of course, the LR Strength Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, both leads. The Transforming Physical Vegeta. I brought the Tech Blue Vegeta, the one that's the nuker that stacks. The one which is fantastic. Also brought Tech Trunks. The Int Super Vegeta, the one that came with the physical one.
Right.
And then my last one was, it's going to sound a little surprising, but the AGL EZA'd Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta.
Oh, that's a good option. Yep, that's a pretty decent option right there. This one right here.
Because he's a tank. Yeah, because he raises attack and defense for 6 turns. He raises attack and defense by 30% for 6 turns, and then he gets an additional 15% for each attack received up to 60. So he was tanking fine. Yeah. So he was like my pseudo tank, well, mostly my tank for the event. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely agree with a lot of those units. For me personally, I brought the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta for both the leader and the friend. And then I brought along with me the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta Tech one, just like you did. I brought the Tech Trunks, because again, awesome units. I ended up bringing, which I know a lot of people don't have, but I still brought him. I brought the Xeno Vegeta, the one who is the Vegeta family support unit from Heroes, because he stacks his defense indefinitely, and he's an amazing support unit, so you can bring him. For anyone who doesn't have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, though, you don't really need to freak out about it too much, because you can go ahead and bring the STR Majin Vegeta, because he is a Vegeta family, Ki plus 3, stats up 130, which is really nice in terms of his leader skill. So you can bring him as a leader if you need to, and just bring him as a card himself. He's actually a very good card to bring along on this particular event if you're getting him enough orbs and you've invested some orbs into him in terms of the ability system, which I think a lot of people have. You can bring in the free-to-play Vegeta that exchanges into Trunks. Again, another amazing unit. The physical Sand Saga Vegeta, the one that came out during year 3. He doesn't have an EZA, but he's still a TUR. He stacks attack and defense. He does just fine.
Yep, he's a good option.
He's a very good option. So I think Vegeta family has a lot of good options, honestly. It really does. So I don't think a lot of people probably don't need help with it, but again, you've got some other you've got a lot of good options, including things like even STR Trunks from the future. You've got the EZA for the future Trunks if you wanted to bring him as well. If you only have the Int Vegeta Blue who just got his EZA, he's actually a very good option as long as you don't let him get hit before he gets a super attack off. Again, a lot of good options that you can bring along with this team. So I think that's basically it for
There's a ton, Yeah, you guys can run wild with your team builds here, and let us know what you end up bringing. So yeah, that's it on Vegeta's family for me.
Okay, so next we're going on to one that is going to incorporate 3 different missions / categories. We're talking about the Goku family, the Super Saiyan, and the Kamehameha category. Now, if you can play your cards right and you've got basically if you have all these cards, I personally couldn't do this myself because I was definitely lacking a couple of these cards. But if you have these cards, then you can go ahead and knock out 3 missions in one time in doing this, okay? Now, I think for the most part, most people will probably do a combination of like the Goku and the Kamehameha category, or maybe Super Saiyan and Kamehameha, or however you want to do it. I think it's safe to say, I'm not trying to say that everyone has all these cards, Goku family should be pretty easy for most people if you're doing this only one team at a time. Am I safe to say that, Nolar, I think? I mean,
yeah, that's pretty safe.
Goku family's pretty stacked. I mean, like personally, you can bring the EZA AGL Super Saiyan 2 Angel of Goku. You can bring the Tech one from the Sand Saga. You know, there's a lot of different categories you can bring along in terms of just simply if you want to do only the Goku category. But another one you can bring along with you if you have them is like the LR Gohan, who is the Kamehameha category, and lo and behold, he is also a Super Saiyan. He's also in the Goku family, right? So you start to see a lot of these cards just bleed into each other's categories, and they honestly do just fine. I'm gonna be showing you guys a picture real quick that we found from, I believe, was it the Reddit that you found it?
Yeah, I found it on Reddit.
Okay, so
credit to, hold on, let me find out what his name was. But yeah, keep going.
Okay, so anyway, so this is one of the teams. We'll come back to this picture in a little bit, but this was the team that they used right here to knock out 3 of these categories. So they used the Kamehameha category with Gohan. Everyone on this category is Super Saiyan, and they're all in the Goku family. So it just goes to show you right there that if you have the cards, you can go ahead and do 3 of these missions at once, okay? Me personally, myself, I could not do the... I couldn't do one of these missions with the other 2 because I don't have like the LR Gohan and Goten. So that was something right there. But again, tons and tons of options for Goku family and say Super Saiyan, for example. And then if you have to do Kamehameha on its own, you can totally do that. Or if you do Kamehameha and Goku family together and do Super Saiyan separately, that's totally fine as well. There's just so many options. I mean, I don't even know what more to say for it. So any other things you want to add from there?
Just looking on the Reddit right now. The guy's name, the user is Vico Tricks. So shout out to him. Well done for coming up with these team comps, for doing multiple missions. So yeah, you can use this as a template. You can kind of, I don't know with the all three together if we can mix and match anybody in particular. Like I think you can, if you didn't have the LR Go Bros, I mean they were integral to really get it done fast, but you'll probably throw in like the new Super Saiyan Goten, or yes, that would be Super Saiyan Goten, the one that got the EZA, or not the EZA, the Awakening, the Int one.
Yeah, the Int one. Yep.
He would fulfill both Goku's family, Super Saiyan, and Kamehameha. So like there are some options you can wade through and be like, oh, we can throw that in. That would work. You know, actually any of the what's it called? Like the STR Goten, Super Saiyan Gotens there. You could probably throw in the Gohan, you know, the AGL one, or even the Goku, the STR one. That got the EZA, the family Kamehameha one. Those works just as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, do you want to go through each category on its own if people have to go?
I mean, again, if you have to, like, for example, if you have to do something like Super Saiyan, you know, then you can start to really branch out where you're doing more things like, you know, bringing AGL Super Gogeta, AGL Super Vegito, you know, again, so many options for some of these teams when it comes to like Super Saiyan, Kamehameha. I mean, Kamehameha, you can start throwing like cells on there if you want to, because they stack attack and defense, and especially if you want to see Gohan transform, you know, again, tons and tons of options that you can just bring, and you'll honestly be fine. So I don't think there's really much more to say when it comes to the Goku, Super Saiyan, and Kamehameha categories.
You guys got to have something in your box. That's basically all I can say.
I mean, unless you like literally just started the game, I think for the most part, you guys should be able to do this one, no problem. So.
Well, and if you just started the game, this isn't content that you should be able to do right now. And when your box develops. So, you know, that's without saying there. But all right, I guess that wraps up those 3.
All right, so then we're going to go on to the final category that, as of right now, Global, you do not have, but when it's released during the Year 5 celebration, which should be starting around the beginning of July, then you'll be able to do this one. And I am, of course, talking about the Last Resort category, okay? So the Last Resort category brought with it the LR Gogeta and the LR Vegito, who transform into Super Saiyan Blue. These guys are monsters, as you guys all know. They're super, you know, they make this event a cakewalk, essentially, okay? So I don't want to talk about them because I think if you have them, you can, I think for the most part, you can build a pretty decent team. You know, bring in like the free-to-play LR Vegito if you want to, or even the physical one that's what it is, the EZA. You can bring the AGL Gogeta. You can even bring Candy Vegito, who's a free-to-play card if you want to, because again, he stacks attack and defense indefinitely. You know, there's a bunch of different options you can bring. Super Saiyan Goku, even the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. You know, again, tons of different options you can bring. Heck, if you even want to, you can bring STR Cooler because he's a support unit for them technically, because he's also he's a transformation boost category support unit, and they are on there. But what I want to talk about is, you know, leaders you can bring if you don't have these two LRs, okay? Because I know some people were not lucky enough to get them, or you're saving your coins for when they show up during the Tanabatsu banner in July, which is totally fine. If you're just gonna wait for that, then fine. You know, you're ignoring this part of the video. But if you need a leader to beat this, so say for example, you bring LR Vegito as your lead, and then, or sorry, as your friend, and then you need to bring other cards that are in the category to win this, you actually can. You can start doing things like bringing along the 1000-day Goku if you want to, because he's an all types type of leader.
Yep.
If you wanted to, if it's possible, I'm not sure if it is, you can try to do like more of a Patara team. So you can bring like the LR Year 3 Super Saiyan Vegito if you want to, and then you can start bringing cards like the AGL Zamas. You can bring the Candy Vegito again. You can bring Tech Vegito Blue, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? You can start bringing more of a Patara team if you want to, because they're also on the Last Resort category, and it can work out like that. I'm sure, again, there's some other leads if you want to bring those. If you wanted to try to do something like where you bring STR Cooler as your leader, for example, and try to do more of a transformation boost category that's also on the Last Resort category, you can do that as well. So a lot of actually decent options if you do not have these two LRs as your lead.
Yeah, the other one just mentions, like you said, the Int LR Vegito, the LR. You can also bring the physical LR Gogeta, run more fusion-centric team. Yep. So your AGL Super, the Blue Gogeta, your Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I wouldn't really recommend it, but that's an option.
That's a little iffy, but again, if you are limited on your cards, he can somewhat be okay. So
yeah, you got to be a little careful, but it can be done. So
it can be done.
You know, you have Gotenks, you have Gogeta, like the STR Super Gogeta, like that's a good option too. So
yep.
There's a way to finagle around it. It's a little, I think, honestly, if you were to try, I think the best is your Patara.
Yeah.
Because you have Kefla, you have the AGL Super Vegito, or the physical one, whichever one you want. You have Zamasu. You have, you know, what else? Like you said, the Candy Vegito, who's actually really good. I mean, the only thing is you have to put him on rotation early enough so that he starts stacking really quick.
Yep.
And then once you get to the UI stages, he could be okay.
Yep. Exactly. So I think as long as you do that and you really stick to it, you should be fine, honestly, with that particular type of team.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it in terms of the teams and everything like that. We'll quickly show you again here. Again, shout outs to the guy from the Reddit in terms of the teams that he did. The first picture you're seeing right here is, again, a combination of Kamehameha, Super Saiyan, and Goku family. The next one is an Android and Cell Saga category, so that's 2 missions in one. The one after that is the Future and Time Travelers category, because that works out pretty well. And then the final 2 are Vegeta Family, because you can only do Vegeta Family by itself, and then the Wicked Bloodline. The only one it doesn't include, obviously, for Global, because if you guys notice, this is a global account, is there's no Last Resort category, because you guys don't have that category yet. That is coming again in about a month and a half or so when the Year 5 celebration begins for you guys. So, other than that, though, that's basically all I can really think about. Anything else to add in there, man, before we head out?
No, good luck. You know, sometimes you have the right team build and it just doesn't work out because you get supered at the wrong stage, or there's like 12 attacks where you didn't expect it to be. So sometimes RNG's in your way, but keep trying. I'm sure you guys will get it done, and good luck with all that.
Yep, exactly. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for the video. Again, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. What teams did you bring to take on these events and these missions? And were you able to combine some teams, or you just do everything one at a time? How did you go about it? So anyway, that's gonna be it for the video, guys. Again, Nolar, thanks for stopping by, man, as always, and helping out with the video. And until next time, everyone, we'll see you all in the next one. Jane.